Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Chris Hamilton here with Sales Tip a Day, www.salestipaday.com. And I wanted to say I appreciate everyone coming to the event today. This is the first one I've done in the new year. Obviously, we're 6 days into the new year here. If anyone's wondering, I'm looking off to the side. I've got another computer going so I can check the chat box down in the bottom of the page, and that brings up a point. If you are wanting to ask a question or anything, kind of go down below and you will find a chat box that you can put some information in and just ask your questions there. Part of this presentation I've scaled back a bit. I was doing, the last three that I did were taking anywhere between an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes just to get through. I know people's time is valuable, even though the information that I am giving out is valuable as well. I just want to make sure that we stick to some of the high points that are going to help you get started immediately and gain some traction, especially, starting of a new year. It's always important to, get what you're doing moving in the right direction and get going on things. Anyways, one of the other things I just thought I would mention is these webcasts have been pretty darn good attendance wise. I get quite a few people into these. I'm thinking about doing some more webinars that are wrapped around LinkedIn. And so obviously I do one every kind of the first Wednesday in every month, which is this one that you're attending right now, which is kind of a LinkedIn social selling success. And then kind of partway through the month, I do a LinkedIn question and answer session that goes up. Good morning, guest 8660. Sorry, I just saw off to the side here. Thanks for attending. I do a question and answer in the middle of the month where you can come with any of your LinkedIn questions. I always profess I'm not the LinkedIn expert. I've been using LinkedIn for quite a while. In fact, I joined LinkedIn when there were, I was in kind of that 6 million mark, just a little over 6 million. There's over 400 million on the platform today. I've been on it for, I think, 10 plus years or 10 years or something. Truthfully, I never really, I used it. I dabbled in it. But what I found is over the last few months, it's been, it's been more and more. It's more and more stuff that I've been doing, and it's interesting how this came about. Was a lot of people were asking me, I see you on LinkedIn, I see a lot of stuff you're doing. How do you do it? So I thought, I'll just share this information with everyone. By the way, I've got a new webcam I'm using, and what you're going to see, it kind of looks like a fishbowl kind of wrapped around here. I was going to put my big screen up in the back so you didn't see my workout equipment in my office. But you know what? I thought, it's open the kimono and let you into my let you into my office. You're not seeing the forward part. I got a big screen TV here where I play Netflix all the time while I'm hammering away on some of the stuff I'm doing as well. So anyways, back to some of the webinars I'm looking at doing. So I do the main one. I'm going to do the question and answer one. And then one of the ones that I've seen like people kind of trying to figure out is getting started on LinkedIn. So what I'm thinking about is I'm kind of getting something that's going to be like 4 or 5 things that you can do to get up and running on LinkedIn really quickly. And each one's kind of meant to build on each other as well. And then I'm going to do another one that's along the lines of kind of little known things on LinkedIn that you can do that can help you out in utilizing LinkedIn to its maximum as well. So those are just some of the webinars that I'm going to do. Another thing I should tell you about is I believe on January 31st, I will be doing a webcast with a CRM provider, Contactually. And if anyone's been on any one of my webcasts or gone to my website, you know that I talk about Contactually quite a bit. Contactually is an awesome little program that you can leverage to keep in contact with people. And in fact, one of the things I like about Contactually is it ties in very well with following up with people on LinkedIn. So in fact, the presentation I'm going to give on for Contactually is how to leverage your LinkedIn connections and stay in contact with them on a consistent basis. So I'll tell you what, one of the things that I may do, and I'm not going to let Contactually know about this, is if you guys want to see it in advance, I'll do a sneak peek of it a week or two beforehand. I don't know, if you go to the comment box down below and let me know if you want to learn how to keep in touch with your connections on LinkedIn in an easier way, and also have the ability to potentially close more deals, keep top of mind, so on and so forth. Just go down below if you want, and let me know about that. What else we got? Oh, on the 20th of this month, I will be hosting my LinkedIn Q&A session at 9 a.m. And I'll get to that in the presentation here in a few minutes, just with some of the links on that sort of stuff. And it is, let's see, at 9 o'clock, go to bit.ly, so bit.ly /Q_N_A. And all you got to do is show up then. The other thing too is that if you want, just reach out to me, chris@salestipaday.com, and just ask me for the link, and I'll send it off to you. And if you're on my email list, you'll ultimately end up getting it anyways as well. So let's see, what other things was I going to say? Oh, my Udemy course. So if anyone's on here that was on my Udemy or got my Udemy course and commented on it, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. Hey, Ken Boxer, I'm going to assume. If anyone got my Udemy course or commented on it or anything like that, thank you very much. It helped me out. I got there was like 1,100 plus people that registered on it. If you want, later on in the presentation, I've got a link. I have it on sale until Thursday for $1. And I also have my Teachable course that I have, the long version, for $99 until Thursday night at midnight. Then after that, it goes to $199. My Udemy course will actually be $10 until January 11th, because Udemy is udemy.com. Udemy is running a promotion right now where there's tons of courses you can get for $10. I highly recommend to go in there and get that stuff. Oh yeah, so Kevin, if it says $10, that's because you don't have the special link that's in there. I'll give it to you guys later on in the presentation here as well, or if you want it, just reach out to me, and then go into you can go into that as well. So, and I'll give it to you. Couple other things in the process of writing a book, actually, for LinkedIn, which I will also give away for a bit, and then I'm going to put it up on Amazon. Anyone who's in Calgary, and we got about a minute before we really get into the details on this one. Anyone who's in Calgary, in March, I'm going to be running a session with a buddy of mine, Mike Skripnik, and we're going to, it'll be a kind of a one-day session that allows people to learn how to write a book quickly and then leverage that book through LinkedIn to book more sales meetings. And so we're going to run this course, and it's going to be, it's probably like, starts at 9 in the morning. We'll go to about 3 in the afternoon. For anyone who's not in Calgary, I will probably do a online session like this as well, where Mike and I will go through and do this stuff. There is going to be a cost to it. We haven't determined the cost. It's not going to be outrageous, because we've got to cover some costs on the facility that we're using. But that said, I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for people to learn how to write a book really quickly. Show you how to self-publish your book. Not only self-publish, but also put it up on Amazon so that people can find you, and then leverage that book for to get your foot in the door for different companies and reach out to the right people on LinkedIn. So that's we're really excited about that thing. Hey, Chris McKenzie, see you up there. Thanks for coming in as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my presentation with you guys. Bear with me for a second here as I start to share my screen. I just have to go to my section here to see what is playing. So just give me 1 sec as I do some technical stuff here. There we go. I can see it up and on the screen. So as I said to you guys a couple of minutes ago here, Contactually, CRM, Client Relationship Management, great little program. And Contactually, I approached them a little while ago about using Contactually to nurture your LinkedIn connections. And they love the idea on this. So we're going to do a session on, I believe it's January 31st is kind of the tentative date right now. That may change. As I say, anyone who's in the event right now, you can go kind of down below and there's a chat box. If you guys want to see this presentation beforehand, I will gladly do it beforehand to a select audience. But it's a process that I use. It's a tremendous way to keep in touch with people and build up a stronger business relationships with people. So that's coming up on 31st. If you're already registered on any of my email lists, you'll probably find out about this beforehand. Next thing I want to talk to you about is my LinkedIn Q&A session, which is on Wednesday, January 20th, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And just basically bring your questions, show up to bit.ly. Oh, I screwed up on the link earlier on. So bit.ly/LinkedIn_Q&A. And that will get you into that session. Once again, I will also be sending a note out on that in advance. And one of the things I'd alluded to, I've got 2 or 3 other LinkedIn webcasts that I will start putting into my regular curriculum as well for you guys to go through. So there we go. With that said, I'm getting on to social selling success through LinkedIn. And if you had joined a little bit earlier, what you're going to find out is that if you've seen this before, I've scaled it back a bit because the fact is these were taking literally an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. I know people's time is precious. I know I give away a lot of valuable information, giving high fives and group hugs to myself on that one. But, I want to get you back in and doing what you want, making money and everything like that. The idea behind this one is to give you just enough information to get you going and get you out the door. And that said, I'm going to try to get it done within 1 hour or even more. So the agenda today, I've got 10 plus tactics, over 100 slides. So you got to settle in for a bit here, and well worth staying for the whole presentation. I'm not saying that because I'm giving it. It is a lot of valuable information that you will find in this course. And then at the very end, I've got a super special offer, the really special offer. And if you want to get a copy of this presentation, you're going to have to wait till the end so you can figure out how you can actually get a copy of this presentation as well. So once again, do you want to reach me? Well, I didn't bring my cell phone down with me, so don't bother texting any questions. Apparently, I didn't have enough coffee this morning to think about bringing my cell phone down. So use the chat box down below. I do have another computer going with the chat box, so you can ask questions there. And then when I get into this, I say, what kind of proof do I have to show that a lot of this stuff works? And once again, I'm going to preface this with, I do not consider myself a LinkedIn guru. I consider myself proficient enough to have learned quite a few things. And anyone who knows me knows that I love sharing information with individuals and trying to make them better off in life. So, first thing, like I say, what proof do I have to show that I know what I'm doing? Well, if you go to LinkedIn's social selling index, so if you go linkedin.com/SSI, that will bring up their social selling index. What their social selling index does is it rates you on 4 pillars. And those 4 pillars are, you can see them kind of down and to the right-hand side: establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and building relationships. and it gives you a score out of 100. So each of these are out of 25, gives you a score out of 100. And in this case, my social selling index is roughly around 88. It hovers between kind of 86 and 89, given different periods of times and stuff like that. But one of the things that I look at is compared to my industry. So they rank me against a bunch of people in my industry. I'm in the top 1%. And when I'm ranked against my peers, I'm in the top 1%. As it relates to my peers as well. So that just kind of gives you an understanding of what that is. Now, the other thing too, when I look at people in my industry, on average, sales professionals in marketing and advertising, in the marketing and advertising industry, have a social selling index of 22. That's like abysmal. That's brutal. Considering that you're a sales professional and you're marketing and advertising, I would assume that you'd actually be using LinkedIn to uncover more sales opportunities for you as well. But I'm 4 times greater. The people that I hang with, or the people that are in my network, I'm about double what they are. And that's not me tooting my own horn. That's just me showing you that a lot of the stuff that I've been doing for years on LinkedIn plays into the social selling. And it reflects very well against my peers and also against people that are in the industry with me. The other thing you can take a look at is you can do a ranking in your profile. So when I'm ranked against professionals, very similar to myself with similar backgrounds, everything like that, I come out number 1 on 97 that I'm ranked against. I've checked that on a consistent basis. I'm always number 1. So once again, not trying to give myself group hugs and high fives, but what I am doing is I'm saying, the stuff that I'm doing works. The stuff that I'm going to teach you in this course also works as well. And last but not least, I take a look at, my rank against other professionals. I've got a lot of number 1 business authors and stuff like that I'm connected to that I've interviewed over the years that have a great following. So, to be in the top 3% against some of these guys like Guy Kawasaki, Brian Tracy, Joe Pulizzi, all these guys have written numerous number 1 best-selling books. I'm quite happy with that. So there you go. That's my social proof. I've always done this with people. You know what? Go to linkedin.com/SSI, see what your social selling index is. We had a guy on here a couple of times ago where his was extremely low. He doubled it literally within a 2-day period after taking in this information that I give in this course, and it's gone up subsequently since then. And so his name is Adam O'Neill. And if you go online on LinkedIn, look up Adam O'Neill. He's in Ottawa, and he's done a tremendous job working on his profile and a bunch of different things to get his social selling index up. If you go there and see what it is, if you feel like sharing it with us, that would be awesome. You know what? Some of the stuff you're going to learn from this is going to increase your social selling index. So that said, let's jump right into the meat and potatoes of this thing. So social selling kind of comprises 2 things. There's buyers and there's sellers, and you being the seller, obviously. So I'm going to go through some stats that LinkedIn has pulled out. I've gleaned this from numerous different LinkedIn documents that I've read. So all this stuff is from LinkedIn. Literally, buyer profiles. 49% of buyers research vendors through their LinkedIn profile. So profile is very important. We'll get to that in a sec. 50% of buyers avoid professionals with incomplete profiles. You don't have a picture on your profile. Guess what? You're not going to get seen, obviously. 44% of social buyers use shared connections to find potential vendors. So once again, the big thing about that is, are you connected with the right people? Are you keeping in front of these people, i.e. this Contactually webinar that I'm going to be doing at the end of the month is important on this, letting them know what you do so that they can refer you in. The other stuff that I'm reading where the arrows are, B2B buyers complete almost 60% of their buying decision before they're willing to even talk to a sales rep. So the odds are stacked against you on that stuff. But if you're building out a great LinkedIn profile, sharing information, keeping in front of people, then you know what? Chances are you're going to have a good opportunity talking to these people. If anyone is still cold calling, which I hope you're not, the average cold call appointment rate is 2.5%. In fact, I know it's actually lower than that. There's a report that's out through Keller Williams, did it through Baylor University, and it was a bunch of realtors, and the actual success rate was less than 1%. So I flip this around and say, if you're doing cold calls to find people, then literally you're banging your head against the wall. You're spending anywhere from 97.5 to 99% of your time doing something that doesn't amount to anything. So was that Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting better results? So there you go. That is absolutely crazy. Flip side to this, though, is that if you get warm referrals, you increase your sales success or your chance of getting into a meeting by 2 to 4 times. In fact, I get higher results than that from leveraging people in my network to introduce me into other people. And it takes less time. So that's some of the stuff I'm going to teach you in here as well. And 84% of B2B decision makers begin their buying process with a referral. So start thinking about this. Think about your LinkedIn profile as the ability to leverage referrals, get in front of people, let people know what you, who you are, what you're doing as well, so that you can basically be top of mind in a lot of this stuff. So more buyers are using the internet and specifically LinkedIn to find solutions. If you don't have a complete profile and you're not actively engaging, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. That is social selling in a nutshell right there. So here's some of the social selling statistics. So first thing though is I'm going to talk about social selling. HubSpot, which is a great little firm out of, I believe, the Boston area, has a couple of definitions. I like the bottom one because it's shorter and to the point. Social selling is when salespeople use social media to interact directly with their prospects. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be prospects, it could be clients as well. So here's some social selling statistics that you need to think about. So top social sellers, people using LinkedIn, for example, to engage with content, all the stuff that's in that social selling index, have 45% more opportunities per quarter and are 51% more likely to make quota. So this is an easier way to get more opportunities and hit quota, make plan, do whatever it is. Sales reps are 70% more likely to get an appointment from a cold connection request if they cite a common LinkedIn group. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes here in this presentation. Sellers who reach out to prospects with relevant insights about their business are nearly 5 times more likely to get a response than sellers who reach out cold. Think about it this way. You've got some relevant information that's going to make people's lives easier if you're reaching out to these people and say, hey, I'm going to show you something that might make your life easier. Same thing. Ask for a request for a meeting or whatever it is. Chances are 5 times more likely to get that meeting than if you just kind of say, hey, I'd like to try to get together with you. Sales reps who exceed quota engage on LinkedIn with their prospects 39% more than other sales professionals. This means that they're liking, commenting, sharing the content that their prospects post on and share on LinkedIn. And last but not least, almost 73% of salespeople use social media. Salespeople using social selling as part of their sales process outperform their peers and exceed quota 23% more. So, one of the things that I talk about when it comes to this is, salespeople that are using LinkedIn and other social media platforms are more likely to exceed their quota and make more money. So, social selling, it's just the way that things are going. One tip I'm going to give you on this social selling dashboard is that when you go to linkedin.com it's /sales/SSI. That's what it is. I'm mixing my URLs up on this stuff. Sorry, guys. Any of these things where you see that little red box around, if you click on there, it will bring up a presentation for you. And when you go through that presentation, it gives you a little bit of information on how to build out, say, your professional brand, how to find the right people, how to engage with insights, and how to build relationships. LinkedIn is wonderful at trying to help you and support you in being better. And I got to give them high fives and kudos for that, because it's great that they actually do that sort of stuff to try to help you out. So I would highly recommend go there, take a look at this, figure out how you can actually increase your how you can increase this sort of stuff. And last but not least, before we get into the real depths of this, is social selling isn't something to do in the future. You need to literally start making it a now. You got to start doing this Like seriously, make yourself a commitment today that you're going to go to that social selling index. You're going to go through those presentations. There's 7 slides in each one. Take you all of 15 minutes to go through all 4 and start determining how you're going to use social selling to get ahead. So one of the things that I always talk about is people that have a free account and a premium account. And I'll tell you what, I tell salespeople, invest in yourself and get a premium account. I'll tell you why. Only 18% of LinkedIn users have a premium account, which means, it's like the Pareto effect, the 80-20 rule. It's close here, is that, 18% of people are actually investing in themselves. I'm going to guarantee you or bet that these people that have a premium account and are paying for their own premium account are the people that are exceeding quota and exceeding plan. I just did a post, I think it was this week or maybe it was last week. I've done so many, I forget. I went through Calgary and I used the term sales to find people that are in sales and specifically sales reps. And it was like 10% of the people who are in sales have a premium account is what I found out. Now, flip side to that though, I looked at sales managers and there was about 21% of them on the small statistics that I did on this, by the way, had a premium account. So they're well within the means of kind of the norm that's out there. But I'll tell you what, if you're in sales and you don't have a premium account, you're doing yourself a massive disservice, and it's not overly expensive. Invest in yourself is what I'm going to say. I'm going to go into some of the details here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So one of the things is with a free account, with a business plus account, I pay $50 a month Canadian because I'm up in Canada to get this account. If you want to get a premium account, really what you do is you go in this upper right-hand corner and hit upgrade, and you'll be able to get a premium account. Here's the differences between an annual and a premium. And I know this might be a little small. You may not see it, but I'll go through this. One of the greatest things is you get to see who's viewed your profile. With a free account, I believe you only get to see the last people that viewed your profile. With a first tier and beyond, I believe you get to see the last 90 days of who's seen your profile. So why is this important? Is because who's looked at your profile? They found you for a reason. They looked at your profile for a reason. There's something you might be able to do with them. When you see that, you can connect with those people and build your network and potentially get some sales out of it as well. So I highly recommend that you do that. That stuff. What I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about these premium levels up here. I'm just going to talk about the first level on the LinkedIn premium account, because that's all you really need. So one of the other things it does is you get to see full profiles up to the 3rd degree. So you get to see all these people, whereas in a free account, it's kind of limited as well. The other thing too is that your premium account, when you show up in search results, your profile is double the size of someone who has a free account. So your eye is automatically drawn to that as well. In messages, I get 15 in messages. So I get to send 15 emails to individuals on a monthly basis, and they stack up and they build up over each month. So they, literally, if I didn't use 15 this month, I get another 15. I've got 30 to use next month, and I've got 45 to use the month after that. So it's perfect for that sort of stuff. Being able to reach out to people that you're not connected to and try to connect with them and engage with them. Now, the other thing with this is each one of these in-mails typically costs around $10 or $11. So if I get 15 a month, and we'll just use $10 here, that's $150. Well, if I'm paying $50 a month and I'm getting $150, I've already tripled the value of a premium on the premium account as to what I would pay if I had a free account and got the same sort of thing. Introductions, you can get introduced to people through your first level connections in LinkedIn. You get 5 with a free account. You get 25 with a premium account, and it goes on and on and on. Premium search, I get to add 4 additional search features or search parameters, which narrows my results down and gives me better results. I get to see way more profiles per search. Now, this is actually an old page from about a month ago. Nowadays, It's unlimited is what I've seen. So I don't see 500 people that come out of search results. It's unlimited now. I get to see as many as humanly possible. And also I get to save alerts. I get 7 a week compared to 3 a week. This will be important in a second. And I'll get into this, is because of the fact that this is a way to get LinkedIn to send you new sales leads on a weekly basis. It's insane and incredible. Here's another thing that is really cool. If you're looking for a job and you got a premium account, one of the things that you can see is when you go find a job in a certain, under a certain, parameter or criteria that you're using, one of the things you're going to see is you get to see how many people actually have applied for a job and kind of when this activity was. So you can gauge, for example, if I wanted to be a sales specialist, the managed IT services lead for TELUS in Calgary, I would take a look at, there's like 41 people that have applied for this. Now, on top of that, it's also going to say, hey, here's the average salary for similar positions here. So you kind of know, here's how many people applied. Here's the average salary. Here's another tip that I tell people to do is that when you see this sort of stuff, you can reach out to this guy here, Sean Sweet, who he's the person who put this up. He may not be the person doing the hiring, right? So what you can do is you hit this advanced search up here, search TELUS, see if you had any first level connections in TELUS and say, hey, you know what? I saw this sales specialist job online. Do you know someone who's in your sales department that I can reach out to, maybe a VP or a manager level? I want to talk to them or see if they can point me in the right direction. Eventually, you know what? You could just do some digging and get pointed in the right direction, find the person who's actually hiring for this, get them on the phone and tell them exactly why they should be hiring you. Don't leave it up to just sending your application in and saying, hey, by the way, I'm going to leave it up to chance and hopefully I'll end up getting it in here. Be proactive. You know what? If I'm hiring someone and someone's reaching out to me and say, hey, here's why I'm totally cool for this job, I'm going to take them over someone who's just kind of handed a resume in and hasn't done anything to proactively go after it. So there you are, food for thought on that one. Here is the 2 ways that you could get an account, a premium account. Once again, I think LinkedIn gives you a free account for a premium account for 30 days to try out. And my suggestion would be that give it 30 days, give it a shot, right? See what it is. So you go to your picture up in the upper right-hand corner, click on it, and then you come down here and it says, it'll be account and it'll tell you what it is. Hit manage, and then you can go in there, or basically same thing, just up here, just underneath this is upgrade. You hit upgrade and there you are. You're in like Flynn and you're upgraded. And so there you go. You can get I believe it's free. If someone could check, I haven't had a free account for years. So if someone's online and can check that and just get back and see if it comes up with a special offer, I'd appreciate it. Put it down in the chat box down below. That'd be awesome. So first thing you want to do is build out your profile. Now, why do you want to build out your profile? Profile is all about selling yourself and what you offer and what sets you apart from your people. If you're not looking for a job, so first things first, then don't write your profile like it's a resume. Write it based on what a prospect wants and how they can find you. And what you can do for them or fulfill their needs for them as well. So here's my suggestion. Here's some profile tips. Now I got to take a break for a second, drink a bit of coffee because my throat's starting to go on me. There we go. There's profile tips. I'm going to go through these, but I have a very high level here. Your tagline or your headline, make sure you provide a benefit to your targeted audience. Your picture, add a picture. First of all, pictures increase your profile views by 11-fold. And a lot of these come from LinkedIn, this information. There's also some stats down here you can take a look at as well. The 50% of buyers avoid a profile without a picture. Once again, pictures, very important. Think about it this way, I had the stats earlier on, which 50% of buyers start their process with searches on LinkedIn. 50% of those buyers won't even look at your profile without a picture. So first of all, you don't have a picture, you're not getting found, you're not getting anything. You can add your website and your social profiles to your platform. I would highly suggest SlideShare, which is a slide sharing program from LinkedIn. LinkedIn owns. You can put your PowerPoints up there. You can put those in your profile as well. You can also put videos in your profile. You have a link on LinkedIn. You can personalize that. Once again, I'm going to get into a lot of these, but I just want to touch on a couple more of these things. So make sure you add your industry. It increases your profile views by 15-fold. Put your education in. It increases views by 10-fold than someone who doesn't have it. And skills. Start adding skills in here. By putting skills in, you get 13 times more views on your profile as well. So huge upside on doing this sort of stuff. So here we are. We're going to get into the details on this. So first things first, we talk about your picture. Put your picture up. I'm a smug looker right here, man. I tell you, got to have a bit more of a smile. I kind of got that Mona Lisa smile going here. But the first things first, put a picture in. Second thing, this is your headline. When you put a headline in, make sure that you have some sort of benefit to someone. So when you take a look at it, here's the people that the industry that I serve. Here's what the benefit is, and here's a call to action. So I'm a small and medium business marketing resource that'll help you generate up to 10 times more sales leads. And then here's ask me how. Hey, knock on my door, ask me how. Here's the other thing you need to do. So this is where your industry goes on your profile. So by the way, when you're in LinkedIn, you go to your profile, you hit the edit profile view, and there'll be a pencil in the upper right-hand corner, or also in a lot of the areas around here that you can edit a lot of this stuff, right? So make sure that you add your industry in there, and make sure it's very, very specific and honed in on exactly what you do. Don't put like airline in or transportation if that's not your industry. People are going to get confused and they won't reach out to you. Put your contact information in here. So I've got my email, I've got my Skype account in here, I've got my phone number, I've also got my Twitter account, I've got my 3 of my websites in here. So this one goes to my main blog, this one goes to my YouTube channel, and this one goes to a landing page that allows people to download a 25 tips and tricks ebook that I've written. And then on top of it, I get their email address and I can actually market to them. Sneaky, isn't it? Here's your LinkedIn profile. So what you can do is you can actually change your profile, because what happens is LinkedIn will put like numbers, an alphanumeric string back here, which really is kind of confusing. What you should be doing is change that so that it's representative of who and what you are. Now, I had to put a CA on the end to denote Canada because of the fact that someone from Canada Chris Hamilton in Canada already took the profile, so I couldn't do that. So here's some of the stuff that you need to focus on. Other things that you should do: you can add videos and slides to your profile, into your summary, and also into your experience. I've got it all over mine. It's a great thing. You can add YouTube videos, you can add Vimeo videos, you can add slide share, you can add documents, you add so much cool stuff that you can add into your profiles. And how you do it is, when you're in your profile, in your summary, you're going to see this little box up here. You just click on that and it will bring up the ability to add different elements into your profile or into your view. Why this is important, once again, people will get a better understanding of you. So in my summary, they can look at, hey, here's how to get online appointments. Here's 101 marketing ideas. Here's, how to do some ad marketing, so on and so forth, a bunch of different things. So it's just an extra way for you to present yourself or get more information out on yourself as well. One of the things I would recommend, actually, here's something that's pretty cool you could do, is you have recommendations here, but the other thing too is hop on Skype and just ask someone to give you a recommendation and see if you can record that. You can go on Google Hangout or Skype and add that recommendation down here as a video recommendation. So there you go. Now, I'm going to show you why adding a profile picture will increase the views by 13%. Is because people need to see who you are and what you are. But I'm going to show you a great way to get people to engage with you. You can use something called Photo Feeler. Photo Feeler is a really cool app that allows you to upload your picture and get people to tell you what they think about it. So it's free to use if you will look at 10 people's profiles and rank them on competence, likability, and influence. And then what happens is when you hit those 10, then 10 people or whatever will go on yours and rank you as well. So you put it under a category, and then what happens is they get to rank you. So Competent, I'm 93%. Influential, I'm at 87%. Apparently, I'm not much of a likable fellow. I'm only at like 41%. So that tells me eventually I got to get my picture done here. Put a little bit more of a smile in there and all that good stuff. And I can probably boost that up. So, highly recommend go to Photo Feeler and join up, and then get people to rank you on your profiles as well. So, one of the other things that LinkedIn does very well is up at the upper right-hand side, they will tell you what your profile strength is. So you start out as a beginner and you go all the way up to an all-star. And the neat thing is that they'll walk you through and give you recommendations like add volunteer experience. How long were you at this job? Do you do this? What's this? What's that? And it helps you build up your profile over time. You don't have to build your profile all at once. What you can do is build your profile up over a period of time. And that way, you don't have to do all that much. So if you say I'm going to spend 5 minutes a day just adding something to my LinkedIn profile, in no time you're going to be up to a very high ranking on this profile strength as well. One of the other things, stop annoying people. This is one of the things that I tell people. There is a button on the right-hand side, a little bit further down on your profile that says notify your network. Anytime you change something in your profile, if this is at yes, it's going to notify people that you potentially have a new job or something news about you. And then you're going to get a flurry of activity going, hey, congratulations on the new job. And you didn't get a new job. Or if you change something in your profile about your job, same sort of thing. So don't annoy people. You know what? Save your friendships. Turn that to no. Last but not least, if you're super lazy and do not want to actually do any of the stuff, building out your profile or anything like that, you can build out some bullet points, record a quick video, and go to something called Upwork, upwork.com. You can hire people there to build out your profile for you. And it's pretty inexpensive to do as well. You can also take a look at Fiverr. I don't know if I'd recommend Fiverr for building out your LinkedIn profile, but Upwork is a great place to go to for that. Now we're getting into some of the advanced search tips and tricks. I'm going to assume, we got about 14 people online right now. I'm going to assume that a lot of you people are in business or in sales or are engaging with people. So I'm going to if you walk away with just this information today or learn how to do this, it's going to make your life so much easier. So how you use the advanced search. A lot of people will go into the search bar up at the top and just put a person's name in and click search, that little button up there with the magnifying glass on it. It brings back results, but those results are, for lack of a better word, garbage, or forces you to sift through a whole bunch of different things. If you hit the advanced search button up here, then what happens is it gives you an opportunity to add information down the left-hand side. All these pieces right here are included as well. So you can actually further refine your results by what kind of relationship level, location, what company they're at, what industry they're in, any past companies, nonprofit, profile language, schools. If you have a premium account, the first tier will give you some additional functionality to go in there. So once you start using this, it starts to hone your results in a little better. So I'll give you an example. There's 5 things that you can use on LinkedIn's advanced search functionality that will help you out. The first thing is using quotes around something. So in this case, quotes are used for an exact phrase that you want to do. So if I use vice president without quotes around it, one of the things that's going to happen is it's going to bring back vice president as a result, but it's also going to bring back president, because it's looking at it saying you're looking for vice and you're looking for president. When you put quotations around that, it's going to say, hey, I'm looking for strictly just vice presidents on people's, on the stuff that I'm searching on as well. When you put it into parentheses, or you get brackets around it, it's allowing you to combine terms and modifiers. I'll get to modifiers in a second. Modifier is like and, or, and not. There's 3 of them there. So in this case, I've combined, I want to look for vice presidents and sales, or vice presidents or marketing. So it's going to bring back the results and say, I'm trying to find certain people that are vice presidents of sales and or marketing as well. So it will bring back better qualified results for you. Now I'm going to get into the modifiers here. So they're and, or, and not, and they have to be in uppercase in order for it to work. So this, I'll go into and at first. So and is when you need to have two terms put together. So for example, if I want to look up vice president, sales, and marketing, I want to see someone who's a vice president, sales, and marketing. That means it's going to bring back just those results. It's not going to bring back vice president sales, vice president marketing. It's going to bring back that exact term right there. The other one is or. So in this case, I'm looking at vice president or VP sales and marketing. And one of the reasons why I use or is because I want someone who's a vice president, and sometimes people use VP instead of vice president. So I want vice president or VP sales and marketing, which will bring back even better results for you. And if you want to exclude terms, oh, by the way, sorry, this is one of the things. So I did this in Calgary and looked at vice president sales and marketing. And depending on the day, these results change, but I got 35 in Calgary. When I put it in brackets here, or VP, and then put this in brackets as well, I ended up with almost 2,200 results. So I would have missed out on 2,100 people. Sorry, guys, sneezing. Oh, sorry about that. I would have missed out on 2,100 people on just on that search alone. So hopefully you can understand the value on that one. That's huge, huge opportunity for you. Last but not least is putting not in. So if I want to look at someone who's vice president of sales, but I don't want them to have marketing in their title or anything like that, I'm just strictly interested in that, then that's where I would use that example. So here's how you use the advanced search functionality. So in this case, I want to find a president or owner with a current title. I want them to be a first or second level connection. I want them to be in Calgary, where I live. And if I want to add other information, I can include that down in here, such as, a current company, an industry, or a past company. And then because I have a premium account, I can actually search on groups if I really wanted to. Another one that I use a lot is this company size. But I want to look at people that are in the young oil and gas professionals. So these are the parameters that I want specific to that person, that group. And so what I do is it brings back 173 results for people that are presidents or owners in these things. Now, one of the stats I used earlier on was talking specifically that if you're in a group and you cite a common group, you're 70% more likely to get an appointment than a cold connection request. That's if you're citing a group. So in this case, you could reach out to these people and say, hey, Sandeep, you and I are part of the Young Oil and Gas Professionals, found your contact online. I help companies do this sort of stuff, was hoping I could line a meeting up with you. Would you be available to chat at some point in time in the future? So honing in those results, getting into the groups and doing that are going to give you better opportunities and open up more doors for you as well. Now, I'm going to make your life easy instead of you guys trying to remember all this. I'm, for lack of a better word, I guess, kind of a prick. So I went through all that to show you what it is, but you know what? LinkedIn has a totally easy sheet that you can follow on this stuff. If you go into Google, and thank you someone for God blessing me on my sneeze. If you go into Google and type up LinkedIn search tip sheet or tip sheet Boolean search, which is BOOLEAN search, you're going to get this document. It's a PDF document. You can download it, and it goes through kind of some of the information that's in there as well. So that right there going to make your life so much easier. There's two tactics I'm going to show you here that's going to help you get more opportunities or open up the door for you to get more meetings, which is going to bring in more opportunities, which is going to close more business for you, hopefully. First one is approaching your first level connections on LinkedIn. So before I go through some of this stuff, just to give you an example, I'm using the term vice president and sales or marketing in a lot of these examples, just so that you know where I'm finding these results are, where I'm getting the results from. So in this case, what are your first level connections? Those are the people you're connected to directly. So for example, Chris McKenzie, who's on this call here, Ken Boxer, who's on here, Joseph Smith, who's on here as well. All these guys are first level connections to me. So I've connected directly to them on LinkedIn. What you can do, or how you can find that, is when you go and search people, you see that little box that says first. And that's how you find out if they're a first level connection or not. One of the things you should always be doing is thinking about strengthening your connections, your first level connections, because your first level will get you into a second level. So my suggestion is, I've got that webcast that's coming up at the end of the month for Contactually that's going to show you how to strengthen your first level connections, utilizing their platform. And you know what? Pick 10 to 20 people, maybe on a monthly basis, that you want to start reaching out to or trying to contact every 30, 60, 90 days type time frame. And you'll build way better relationships and be able to get to leverage yourself in the door into other companies. So in this case, I just go into the advanced search up here. I hit first level connections down here. I've got the area where I'm in, and I'm looking up vice president and sales or marketing down here. I hit search, and it comes back with 25 results. So, here's how I can get in and start talking to these people, or the people that I want to talk to about specific things I have. I send them a letter, which basically is along the line saying, hey, I'm working with this company. Here's what we do. Here's the benefits that it provides. I've got a couple of documents I've included for you. You can see something at the company website. Some of the optional stuff I put in here is I know this doesn't follow any world, but I was hoping you could point me in the right direction. If you don't think that's, this what you're asking for is within their job responsibility. And then, just a quick call to action. Hey, can we get together and talk about this, or get on the phone and talk? Once again, if you want this information, wait till the very end, and I'll show you how to get this presentation here. Next thing, so that gets you in the door and is going to get you in with people that you know. Next thing you should think about, though, is by adding a second level connection. And in this case, I had 25. By adding, a second level connection in here, I can increase the amount of people that I have access to by up to, in this case, it was 78 times greater. And if I really wanted to, I could actually add more geographical territories and just blow this thing right up and have lots of opportunities. And once again, it's going to go back to a point I made earlier at the very beginning, which talks about referrals, which referrals you can get in the door quicker with a referral, 2 to 4 times faster than without a referral. So leverage your first level connections to get into your second level connections. So in this case, we're going to start talking about approaching second level connections. So when I go into my advanced search up here, once again, I can pick second level connections. I pick the area and I pick the term that I'm using. I hit search and the results come back. So in this case, it's weird. I only got 114 results on this one. So I can expand that out a little bit and get a little bit more information from this. But I'll tell you what, so let's just say, I want to reach out to this Gary Leach. I see that, he's a second level connection. One of the things that I can do is I can click here and it's going to show me the first 3 kind of people that they think I have the best path of getting into or leveraging to get in to see this guy. You know what? If I don't know these people well enough, what I do is then I could click down here and see all the people that I'm connected to. And then it brings it up in this page here, and it shows you people that you can leverage to get in the door. So, some of these people may be worthwhile reaching out to. In some cases, you know what? You just don't have strong enough connections, which goes back to my point. You always want to be building relationships with these first level connections to make sure that they're getting, an understanding of what you do and can introduce you into these people. So once again, same thing. I put together a letter. I go in the top part and say, hey, I'm hoping you can help me out. Here's what I'm doing now. Wondering if here's the benefits it provides for companies. Do you know this person well enough to introduce me? If so, here is an email that you can send. Why I produce this kind of information is that if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, can you introduce me to this person? Then now I've got to stop. I got to think. I got to figure out how to actually write a letter and put that in, dumb it down for people. People want this as easy as relatively as possible to get in. So make Make an email up for someone that they can copy and paste, and you're going to get a higher probability that that's going to actually result in something for you. So here's something that I find interesting, and this has not changed. I've been giving this presentation for like 3 months, and this stat has not changed. I've only had 2 people reach out to me for an introduction in the last 12 months. So when I do this with individuals, and I do 5 to 10 a day typically, I can get up to 50% of these people into a meeting, or at least into a phone conversation or an email conversation. So, I'm building way more meetings. I'm getting way more opportunities. Think about it this way. It's just mind blowing to me. 2 people in the last year have asked for introductions. And this is the fastest way to get in the door anywhere. Here's another tip. With a free account, you only get 5 introductions, so you can only leverage your first level connections to get into a second level connection. Premium account, you get 25 of these a month as well. But I'll tell you what, the best way to do this is to actually take it offline and go into email. Use your person's email address and ask them to actually send an introduction email for you. Why does this work? I'm going to tell you right now. So some of the stuff that I call this the digital referral. The typical sales close at 25%. Referrals will close at close to 50%. Referrals convert at 3 to 5 times better than just a cold introduction or cold call or anything like that. 65% of new business comes from referrals, and only 11% of salespeople ask for referrals. The flip side to this, I look at it, 89% of salespeople do not ask for a referral, yet referrals are responsible for 65% of all sales and close at 2 to 4 times the average. That mind-blowing. Just let that sink in for a sec. So if you're not doing this, approaching your second level connections to get meetings, you're doing yourself a disservice as well. Highly recommend start looking at leveraging your network. And you're going to find some people will say yes to you. Other people are going to say no. You know what? You'll find out who your connectors are if you just start a process down this path. One of the things that I say is to get found, and one of the pillars of LinkedIn is creating content or sharing content with people. And one of the best ways you can do this is writing posts on LinkedIn. And so I have a daily sales and marketing blog. Well, not so daily. I write maybe 3-4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week on this thing. And I put content up there, and I also put the same content up on LinkedIn because it reaches kind of a different audience, or maybe some overlap, but it helps me get my information out to a wider audience. And it's a tremendous asset that LinkedIn's put in, and it also can help you grow your network. So why do you want to write posts? Well, first of all, you get seen as a thought leader. Your posts are seen by your connections. The interesting thing is that if you post 20 times a month, 60% of your connections will see that information, or will at least it'll show up in front of them. If you do it just once a month, interestingly enough, 20% of your connections are going to see that. So you know what, my recommendation, even if you could just post something once a month that's of value, you know what, people are going to see you as a thought leader as well. This could also get you in front of a wider audience, because what happens is people are going to share your content if they find it valuable. And when they share it with their network, and so on and so forth. Their network may share it with other people as well. So it's a great way to get in front of a wider audience. The last thing it does is it allows you to connect with people who are like-minded. So people are going to like your content that are second or third level connection, and it's going to allow you the ability to connect with them. So here's different ways that you can write a post. When you go to your main page, you can publish a post here. If you've already published a post, click here, and it'll bring you up to the post area where you can write a post. Same thing. If you go into interests and hit pulse, then it's going to bring up a news feed for you, and it says publish a post. You can do that here. Once again, if you've also published posts, go into your profile, and somewhere in your profile you should have something that talks about your posts, and all you do is you hit write a new post. That's how you can write the post. The post is so simple, a 5-step process actually here. 1, add an image. So put an image in. What I do is I use Keynote, which is like PowerPoint. I put a picture on, and I put a description on, screen cap it, and then I just put that picture up in there. Then you write a headline. Third is you start putting your content in here and using the information that you have. You use bullet points, quotations, a whole bunch of different things. You can add tags so that people will find you. And then last but not least, hit publish, and there you go. Voila, it is up and out there. Now, let me show you a tip that's going to show you how to generate potentially more sales leads. Now, one of the things that I do is I've got a little box that I've created here that says, click here to sign up for our next LinkedIn Selling Success webcast. And what I do, if I click this little camera icon here, I can upload that here. Once it's uploaded and I click on that picture, I can hit this link and I can add a link into it. So this is a strong call to action. So if someone's looking at your presentation or at your post and they see this, it's like, sure, why not? Click there, and it brings them through. What it does is it actually brings them through to this landing page, and claim your spot here. A lot of people on this presentation today probably came about by doing this and hitting this page and clicking that spot. Now, the interesting thing about that is I've also got a person's name and email address potentially, and they're now on an email list, which allows me to do a follow-up series with individuals. And some of you people who've gained access today because of this are probably going to see some follow-up messages from me coming through on this thing. So there you go. It's a tremendous way to build up a list and some opportunities. The other thing you can do is you can actually go into your stats. So once again, on your homepage, you can click here. It will bring up a page that shows you your different posts, and you can see kind of how many people are looking at them over a certain period of time. You can also see the demographics of your readers. But one of the cool things in here is, I've got my first level connections that have liked my posts, but I've also got some second level people that liked my posts. I can have second and third level. I can actually connect with these people and build out my network. And they're like-minded because they're liking your post. They like what you have. They're probably like-minded. Build your relationships with these people. So tips on posts. Post